Another shoe has fallen, ladies and gentlemen, just like the Jason Frank case. Shout out to the Green Ranger, wherever you are. The same scenario applies. What's going on, guys? Your boy RedpillCanuck back again with another video. Shout out to the Canuck Squad for being involved and being active on this YouTube channel. And today's videos are always sponsored by RedpillCanuck.com. That's our Red Pill Canuck Daily Pill, where we get all our news articles and all that fun stuff. And why am I frozen? There we go. Wake up, buddy. Bruh. There we go. Today is not the time to sleep. And, of course, if you're listening to an alternative platform, shout out to everybody on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to you. And make sure you hit that follow button and visit my YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe button. And if you're on YouTube, hit the like and on the way in and subscribe button if you haven't already. Today is going to be one of those episodes where y'all probably going to hate me. Because we be going to be hurting feelings today. That's right. I knew this was going to happen. I'm going to give myself a round of applause right now. Yes, I'm tooting my own horn because I knew something was suspicious about a story we did a few days ago. To refresh your memory, here's a little bit of a flashback. So that's a couple there. And that's her there. She looks innocent, doesn't she? Yes, I knew something was up. Something was at a miss. Something made no damn sense. And what did y'all think I was saying? Oh, no?
How dare you?
Yes, exactly. Y'all said I'm doom and gloom. Y'all, I'm up in my conspiracy moment. But of course, what we're going to have to do right off the bat, we are going to have to put our disclaimer up. Of course, the good old disclaimer. But before we go into our disclaimer, today's topic, tales of the false alligators. That's right, and we call them alligators here because alligators are sneaky and they'll rip you apart if they catch you slipping. Bruh. And of course, yes, I know how to spell, but of course I spell tails and I have it in quotations. Why did I spell it that, you may ask? Oh, I spelled it that way because when y'all going for some tail, those same tail will turn into an alligator and chew you up. What was that song back in the day? Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man-eater. Exactly. And ladies, I'm not saying you're all like that. So I know some of you good women are out there. My good women, where are you at? Yeah, they're quiet. They're quiet like church mice this morning. But anyway, it is what it is. Of course, we're going to put our disclaimer up right off the bat. Where the hell's my disclaimer? I can't find my disclaimer. Honestly, I am all up in my feelings this morning. All up in my feelings. Viewer discretion is advised. We promote no hate or harm here at the Red Pill Canuck channel. Of your life choices, of your sex, creed, if you want to be a tree, if whatever you want to be, we accept you here. Your financial choices. And if you want to act the fool and get taken advantage of. Oh yeah, I have a lot of smoke on this video, a lot of smoke. I suggest if you're going to be sensitive and you're going to get your feelings hurt, come back tomorrow and watch a little bit more joyous video. Because today we are going hardcore. I am honestly sick and tired of men getting taken advantage of. Pause. Now, I did this video. Yes, I did this video recently. You saw a little snippet, our flashback moment. Of course, I was right. This article came out very recently. In his mind, and I'm going to read this verbatim. In his mind, his only way out of his toxic relationship, and this is the daughter speaking, was to delete his own life at Disneyland. Claims the wife was abusive, tore her family apart, and sent Victorious, I can't pronounce it, but basically they were bad texts. So, another shoe has fallen, ladies and gentlemen. Just like the Jason Frank case. Shout out to the Green Ranger, wherever you are. The same scenario applies. Y'all say men have a mental issue, are suffering from depression. Of course, some of us are. But you're blaming us for deleting ourselves when it's technically our only way out. Now, it seems this woman, what the hell is her name again? What is her name? Morena, whatever the hell her name is. She apparently made this man's life a living hell. Now, let's get into the article because the daughter speaks out, and shout out to her. Shout out to her. Because you know what? At least this poor man, poor Chris, has a voice aside from Facebook. Aside from Facebook. To think your only way, your only source of trying to get the truth out there, y'all have to go to social media. Why? Because the public just does not want to hear it. They don't even look at you. They sniggle, they laugh at you. When you go for help, when you go to the freaking court system, what happens? What happens? Crickets. Crickets. So freaking silent, like a mouse in a church house pissing on cotton, you don't hear nothing. To a court system, and this is a monologue, by the way, so kick back before we get into the story. Because I gotta let this out. I was actually supposed to release this video yesterday, but because I was so upset and disgusted of society, this poor man was suffering. He was a broken man. For him to go to Disney World, the happiest freaking place on earth, in order to delete himself. Now, I do have my own theories on this as well. Of course, allegedly. Who knows if it even goes deeper than that? Who knows? Did he really delete himself? But we're just going to leave that aside. We're just going to leave it aside because, of course, it's allegedly. Good old alleged. But let's get into this article here before I go too much on a tangent. The daughter of the California man who deleted himself at Disney World last weekend, or Disneyland, says her father saw deletion the only way out of his toxic relationship with his abusive wife. Yeah. Chris Christensen, a Huntington Beach elementary school principal and musician, jumped to his deletion from a parking garage at Disneyland on Saturday night. And on Saturday night, too, the busiest night of the week, where everybody be enjoying themselves and partying and living life to the fullest, this man decides to end his. Sad, 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 sad. The 51-year-old was facing charges of child abuse and endangerment and battery, according to Orange County court records. Now, I want to see those damn records, first of all. And I think they actually are in this article. No, that's this post. I think there was actually a copy of this article. I mean, the court. There's the court records there. There's a part of it. So we're going to go through that. Sorry to make you guys dizzy. Okay. In a letter he posted on Facebook before he was deleted, he laid the blame at the feet of his wife and mother and stepchildren, Morena. claiming during the altercation last month, her anger got the best of her. She called the cops and allegedly false claims of abuse. Now, this is not uncommon. Now, ladies, I'm talking to you now. I know you guys, when you guys are in the heat of the moment, you make poor judgment. I'm going to give you that. You make poor judgment. But because you make poor judgment does not give you any sort of excuse. Any sort of excuse to do bullshit that is going to hurt another person. Because you know once you go in the court system, you cannot take it back. Now, there may be some slippage of language this video because I'm very passionate about this subject. So that's why the viewer discretion is up, and hopefully YouTube didn't hear that S word. Anyway. And look how happy he was here. And this is him with his, I think this is this him with his daughter? Yep, this is his with his daughter, Brittany. I can see a little bit of the resemblance. Look at this. Now, pose your ass for the photo. Anyway. However, law enforcement believed her enough. So, of course, she was a false alligator. Oh, yes, the alligator. Bruh. Apparently, law enforcement believed her enough. So she probably went in the corner when the cops came. Oh, I faced so much abuse. When I don't make him a sandwich, or when I don't drop that neck, he belittles me. Yeah, you go and you do that. You become frickin' Sigourney Weaver, or what's a famous actress right now? I don't know. Bette Midler. I don't know. Actually, she was an actress as well. But you become an all-star, Oscar-winning, Golden Globe-ass-winning actress, and you make your ass convincing that law enforcement is dumb enough to believe it. Yep, apparently it was so believable, they put the poor man in jail and put 2 charges of domestic violation related offenses and set his bail at $10,000. In an exclusive interview with Daily Mail, his daughter claimed that it was actually Melina who was the abusive one and accused the divorced mother of tearing apart her family. Brittany, apparently that's his daughter, one of the late principal's 3 children. So actually, he actually was married before. I actually assume he wasn't married before, but apparently he was, and he did have children of his own. So not only was he a daddy and not only he was a stepdaddy, he was also a daddy. So anyway. Okay, so the first marriage, which ended in 1999. The charges were inaccurate. Melina has been very difficult in our family for about the last year, and we haven't had any contact with her, the daughter said. I just now started regaining contact with him over the past 2 weeks, and he's been really great. He's been trying to figure out how to leave her. Okay, all right. So I see what was happening here. Now, this is all allegedly, because of course I was not in their house. I'm going based on the fact that I see here. But what it looks like Melina was not having Chris associate with his own children and family. Because only now, or only 2 weeks prior, before his demise, he started to reach out to his daughter. And let's continue. In my opinion, it seemed like this, in his mind, his way, it was his only way out of the relationship. She's been abusive to our entire family for 5 years. Okay, hold on a second. But they were married for 3. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're abusive, and now it even says here. Now it says in his not not obituary. What the hell did they call it? His dying declaration. I don't know. His deletion note. I was trying to. I know there's a term for it, but I forgot. Privately married 3.5 years ago. So, if she was abusive for 5 years, so you're telling me before the marriage she was still swinging her bull, and you still married her? I would have told her to kick frickin' rocks. Fellas, and ladies, this applies to you as well. Now, this whole story is probably geared towards the male perspective, but ladies, I'm going to try to throw you a bone here. I'm going to try to help you out. Now, if you're in a relationship for 5 years and you're not married and it ain't going well, don't get married. Because you think it's going to get better when they put a ring on it? Male or female? No. It's going to get worse because what that ring signifies is that they have the ability and the jurisdiction to pretty much do whatever they want. That's the mentality. That's what the ring is. For richer or poor, for richer in health, and whatever the hell the damn vows are. Again, those vows don't mean nothing no more. It means nothing. It's just freaking words. But anyway, I'm not going to trash marriage today. I'm going to give marriage a day off. But 5 years, 5 years, you were involved with this wretched woman for 5 years, and you still married her? Anyway, I don't know. Y'all crazy. That's why we don't have any contact with her anymore, Brittany added, claiming Marina's story to the cops was riddled with lies. False alligator. Now, we're not going to read this again because we read this in our... If you want to know about this, go to my previous video. I'll attach it, or it's in the playlist. And that's him at the graduation. See, he looks so happy when he's... You know what? Let me see the picture with him and his wife. Okay, well, he looked like he was a happy guy regardless. So, if I were to jump off that parking garage, if he actually did, voluntarily, allegedly, yeah, he was a broken man, I'm telling you. Let's see. So that's some pictures there. And apparently, Brittany accused Melina of being abusive towards the family, claiming that she even keyed her car a few months ago. Now, I'm trying to see. Oh, there it is. Oh, shoot. I thought that was a reflection. So it's actually, if you look at the top here, you guys can't see my mouse because I have it hidden. My pointer's hidden. I don't know why. I don't know how to unfix that, but whatever. If you look at the top, that white line, yeah, that was her crazy ass that did it. Now, of course, there's a text message here. And you know what? I did notice something when I was actually reviewing the last video. And in his declaration here, he did mention about text messages. Yeah, he forgot to attach it. Bruh. Yeah. That would have been helpful. But apparently we have some text messages here as well. And this is actually from Melina's phone. So happy birthday. Hope all is well. Thank you, you too. What? You're a whole... Okay, I'm trying to figure out... Okay, who is in the blue? Okay, I think Melina is in... Yeah, Melina's in the gray. So apparently, she shared a text message exchange from April in which Melina branded her a horrible, disgusting excuse for a daughter. So here's the evidence here. So apparently the daughter says happy birthday to her. And thank you. You two. You're a horrible, disgusting excuse for a daughter and sister. Go find your dad. Play the hero. But it's me he will be missing. I the morning. Learn to spell if you're going to insult somebody. But anyway. Okay, Brittany also shared visualized texts Melina sent after she was in an argument. Okay, that probably was it. So this actually came after the argument that they had, which ended up having Chris arrested. So she also claims that Melina keyed her car. Okay, we saw that. Brittany filed a police report for the incident, alleging she caused $6,000 of damage and shared 4 of the scratches. Okay, that doesn't look like $6,000. That's an easily $1,000 paint job. But anyway, unless they scratch it all the way around and there's more damages. But if it's just a scratch, yeah, there's no way a scratch like that can be $6,000. But anyway. Well, then again, inflation, everything's going up. Who knows? I don't know. Unless it's custom paint. Anyway, that's beside the point. Okay. It was unresolved because she didn't admit to anything, but had the footage from her doorbell camera leaving the house in the middle of the night, and she was coming to my apartment where my dad was staying for the night and taking his car, she claimed. Well, they could easily solve that with GPS. Easily. If they really want to get into it. So when we woke up, my dad's car was gone. And my car had been keyed on every panel. Okay, so there's more. Unless it's at the bottom there. I'm trying to figure out. You see, the problem is that the way the glare is, it's really hard to see. I only see the one that's going across. But she said every panel, so she probably went to town on it. Melina has shown a consistent pattern of manipulation and inappropriate behavior towards my family for some time now. Although my dad mentions in his post their relationship was great up to 2 weeks ago, their relationship was actually been toxic and wearing on both of them, she said. The night my car was keyed, my dad tried to break up with Melina, and she sent messages from her saying that I was a horrible and disgusting use of daughter and sister. So he was actually trying to get out of this relationship. And it was like, I don't know, maybe she didn't want to let go. I really don't know. But this should be a lesson to you fellas. You have to be careful who you lay with. Now, I know it may feel good. Oh, yeah, that good. Them sweet, sugary walls will feel good for about 5 minutes. But as you can see with poor Chris here, will give you hell afterwards. I'm telling you. Okay, to be honest, I never thought I did anything to her, but she refused to ever apologize to her words and actions, even when she reacted extremely towards my family. And that's his mammy there. So apparently it looks like, okay, you know what? It kind of makes sense here. It kind of makes sense because if you look here in his, I'm going to keep on referring back to this. They were privately married. So again, she was probably manipulating whatnot, and probably the family didn't agree with it, and they probably tried to talk to him about it. That's why he had to privately go. So it makes sense now. I thought maybe because she was also a teacher, so they wanted to keep their relationship under wraps. But it's because she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's why. Because her ass was cuckoo. That's why he had to hide it. Yeah, that was a little bit loud. I had to lower that. Okay, so where was I here? In my opinion, it was slow chipping away at my dad's soul for much longer than the 2 weeks, and I wish at this stage she could have left my family alone. She has done a lot personally to my family recently, to myself, my husband, so there's a lot going on, and it's very complicated. The bereaved daughter added that she believed Marley's claims of domestic violation by Chris to police last month was inaccurate. She put him in a really horrible position that night and painted the picture that was inaccurate to his character, and I think it got too much for him, Brittany said. And which kind of makes sense, because what happened was, now we're going to go back to his his Facebook post here, it mentioned, it did mention somewhere here. Okay, it says right here. So where is it? She knows. There was a part here where actually it mentioned how she tried to take it out of the court system, I think, quote unquote. Where is it? Writing this happened to me. Where is it? I'm trying to see it here. Anyway, in fact, a tester screen. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it here. Okay. Okay, it says right here, she too had no intentions on having that night come this far. So it looks like maybe she knew she effed up. Maybe she knew she effed up and she was going to get caught, or in the heat of the moment, she went and alleged things that were not truthful, and that's how it happened. Okay, so... Okay, where am I? Okay, so... Okay, Melina did not respond to Daily Mail's request for a comment. Of course she's not going to, because right now, yeah, she's looking pretty ratchet. Anyway, in a comment posted on Facebook after the husband's death, Melina said that she was living a nightmare and that he was the love of her life, but the full story has not been told. Yeah, bull. I don't think anybody wants to hear her side of the story at this point. I think it would make it worse, to be honest with you, but that's just me. None of you know the full story. I'm living a nightmare, trying to grieve. Chris was the love of my life, and I am crushed for what happened. I didn't make him do this, and it's not my fault. I am not sick. I just know my heart what's true, she wrote. Bull. If you look at anyone who knows him, anyone would know has been in his life. He's not a violent man, she said. Brittany claimed Chris's charges were planned to be reduced to a misdemeanor of disturbance of the peace. So there you go. So I was right. I'm going to take my victory lap again. So I was right. She lied, first of all. And second of all, the reason why it was listed as child endangerment was because usually what happens is when there's a domestic dispute in a household and there's young children around, they will sometimes, and most of the time they do this, I'm saying sometimes just to be nice, what they'll do is they'll take on another charge of child endangerment because obviously the children are in a kind of a toxic but unsafe environment. Now, they consider yelling unsafe because who knows, with tempers flaring and all this nonsense, you never know when violence may occur, and that will put the children at risk. So that's why they call it child endangerment. Yeah. Orange County Superior Court documents show the case was dismissed after his deletion on Monday. So, yeah. So he ended up winning this case by default, it looks like. On November 28th, the judge had imposed a restraining order on him, ordering him to stay away from her, not to harass her in any way, turn in any guns he had to police. Before his death, Chris pleaded not guilty to the charges. His lawyer did not respond for requests for comment. Okay, so... Okay, I don't know what this is. So anyway, let's look here. So this is actually the court document. This is part of the court document. So let's see here. The Superior Court of California. Okay, so the Orange County District Attorney charges that in Orange County, California, the law violated as follows. So there's 2 counts here. So count 1 was on November the 15th in violation of Section 273A of the Penal Code. Child abuse, a misdemeanor under circumstances and conditions like post-greatly bodily harm and that did not willingly or lawfully cause a permanent of suffering to Jane Doe. Okay. And then count 2 in violation of section misdemeanor did willingly. There's stupid things in the way here. Wait, is there more? Is there more here? View gallery. What is this? Oh, these are just photos here. Oh, this is where he decided to take his leap. And this was their house here. So we're just gonna go through this really briefly here. That's him there. We saw that earlier. That was his school. It was his other school. That's him and his daughter. And okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, we see all this. So what I want to do is I want to go back here. Where is it? Okay, so I'm trying to... Okay, well, I can probably see it better here now. Jesus Christ, this is in the way too. Okay, so willfully commit a battery against Jane Doe who cohabitated with the defendant. So she basically saying that he hit her. That's basically what it is. And of course, it was deemed as wrong. Oops. I went back too far. Is that it? Why is this coming up? Okay, we don't need to see that. Let's go away with that. Was that it? Oh, okay, there's a little bit more. So in his final Facebook post, the father of 3 claimed that his wife had no intention having the night come this far. We've went that already. Okay, a lot of this stuff. Spend Thanksgiving. Okay, so the altercation and arrest took place on November the 15th, according to court documents. Chris spent Thanksgiving with his mammy, Karen's home, and Karen's surprise did not bring Merlina. The 85-year-old said that her son kept his marriage a secret, only finding out after his deletion that weekend. So she didn't even know they were married. It seems kind of depressed after he served me and my other son the Thanksgiving meal. Okay, he laid downstairs for an hour, not saying or doing anything. He seemed very depressed. But I think he didn't think in terms of deleting himself. He just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. He didn't offer to bring Melina or include her any part of the meal or anything. I thought it was kind of strange. Okay, so let's see if there's any more here. Because I don't want to spend too much on this because I do have some other articles I want to bring up as well. When he was swimming, here when we talk about the fact that he would not bring her swimming at that time. Okay, let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. This is interesting. So apparently his mammy revealed Chris was the second son to delete himself. Her older son, Kent, deleted himself in 2017 at age 57. Karen's husband, so Chris's dad, Pappy, Jim, also deleted 2020 of natural causes. Okay, so he didn't delete himself there. So Jim was a longtime music director at the Disney theme park. Oh, okay, so probably that's why he went to Disney, because that was one of his happiest times with his pappy. Oh, Chris was known as Mr. C. Okay, welcome message. Unfortunately, 2 weeks. You guys okay? Is there anything else here? Yeah, this is a lot of repeat. Well, actually, to her defense here, it does say here, Melina's ex-husband and father of 2 girls who asked not to be named. She had no history of making false claims, and he also not aware of any previous domestic violations against Chris. So it looks like her ex-husband is trying to be Superman and try to come to her defense here. But yeah, that's really, really sad. So you know what? People don't delete themselves just for the sake of deleting themselves, because they're bored one day. They don't just sit there and say, hey, you know what? There's nothing on TV. Let me go jump off a parking garage. Yeah, they don't just do that. There's a reason for everything. And you know what? I'm glad we have a little bit of closure, because we know the reason why now. Now, unfortunately, this is not uncommon. The false alligators are quite rampant in our society and our relationship dynamic. Now, there's an article here. False domestic abuse claims and divorce. Now, we're going to go through this very briefly. Well, it's a brief article anyway. So, because we spent a lot of time on the main article. I didn't realize it was that long, but it is what it is. So, have you ever yelled at your spouse during a heated argument or touched your partner's arm to emphasize a point when you're angry? Of course, we all have. If you're like millions of couples, you probably have, which I just said. And you probably thought it was no big deal, as long as your relationship remains strong. You're right. But if a relationship is strained and you're heading to divorce or separation, those simple actions could be deliberately misrepresented in court in a way that could result in you being removed from your home. You might be temporarily or even permanently prevented from seeing or spending time with your children. Now, a lot of people don't realize that as well. And predominantly, majority of the time, females are the one that pulls this card, because they know that when the police come to the house, they're going to be taking good old Pappy away. All the female has to do was drop a few tears, go in a corner, and lie and fabricate that she was abused. And then poor old Pappy gets taken away. Now, ladies, you should be outraged at this. You should be outraged. You should be as disgusted and angry as I am. Why? Because what about the ladies out there who are really facing domestic violation? Let's put the shoe on the other foot right now. Imagine you are an abused woman. Now, of course, there's always chance to leave. He ain't holding a gun to your head. But let's just say mentally, you feel like you can't go nowhere. You feel mentally trapped. What about those women who are really facing domestic violation? With these false allegations out there, don't you think eventually no one's going to believe you? They're going to group you up with these people who do false allegations. I would be outraged if I were you. However, many cases, one party, usually one who is feeling the most vindictive, or the one who turns the children against the other parent, mostly the women, make false and unsubstantiated claims of abuse in a way to game the system. The goal is to better their chances of getting desired outcome, which is typically getting 100% physical and legal custody of their children from the other parent. Yeah. Yep. Under state and federal laws, including Violence Against Women Act, the term abuse goes beyond physical abuse and includes harassment, intimidation, and the dependent and generally interfering with someone's personal liberty. Blocking a door during a heated argument and yelling or touching your spouse even while you're saying, "Please stop, I love you," may land you in jail. So even if you plan to defuse the situation, you can get your ass locked up. Now, getting an order of protection. Once the allegation of domestic abuse or violence is made, a judge can issue an emergency order of protection. The legal standard for issuing such an order is surprisingly low, considering the impact it could have. An order of protection is usually a no-contact order, meaning that the person accused could be ordered by the court to leave the couple's shared home and have no contact with the accused or their children. The military commissioned officers can issue a military protective order which restrains service members. Those orders are generally effective only in military installations, so many spouses seek civilian orders for protection instead. Okay, so is there anything else we need to know here? Okay, so after an order of protection is issued, even the allegations or the violations of the order, for example, having a friend talk to you soon-to-be ex about the petition, can also land you in jail. You can be arrested on criminal charges punishable by up to 1 year in jail and fined if you convicted a Class A misdemeanor for domestic violence while serving in the military. Okay, that's military things there. Okay, order of protection can be broader than just stay-away orders. An order of protection can not only order the accused to stay away from the particular personal location, such as residence, the accuser's workplace, child's school, can also be forbidden of disposing of property, taking children to court. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Wow. Yep. Now, the impact of the order of protection, if you served an order of protection, is essential to get a lawyer immediately. The impact of the order of protection of it's based on false allegations can broad reach in separation, divorce, and court proceedings or custody proceedings. In some incidents, supervised visitation may be allowed in spite of the order of protection. This is sad, man. Honestly, this is disgusting. Why lie? Like, why be so vindictive? Like, you fornicated with this individual. You allow him to inject his seed into you and rupture and rearrange your guts. And this is how you treat somebody? Sad. Sad. If the children are illegally prevented of spending time with one parent, then the other parents potentially have an unfair advantage. And change 50 custody to only allow... Okay, yeah, we don't need to know that. So clearing your name is important to swiftly and effectively move to have an order of protection dismissed, vacated, or release modified to allow extensive visitation in order to re-level the playing field in a contested custody proceeding. Clearing your name and putting your best arguments and evidence before the court is crucial of getting the outcome the best for your family. Keep in mind that the accused of domestic violence, you don't have to have a committed or actual violent act. In many cases, claiming. Now, this is very interesting, and probably this is what she did. This is what Melina did. In many cases, I'm going to highlight this for you guys. In many cases, claiming to be feeling threatened or unsafe is enough to start the process. If you find yourself facing crisis yourself, don't give up hope and expect the lawyer, experienced lawyer will help you. Wow. So you don't even have to get, assaulted. Just saying it will start it. Good Lord. Now, this one is... Now, we actually have 3 cases here. We're going to go to very briefly. Okay, so this... Actually, no, let's go to this first here. So there is a spot here to actually... So this is the consequence of being false allegated. You could lose your job, which is what Chris faced because he was a school teacher and he was working with children. So obviously they don't want any sort of violent charges or even allegations. The creation of a criminal record that could impact further gaining gainful employment. You could lose visitation of your children. You could go to jail, which he did. Your reputation will be negatively impacted. Now, can you tell early enough that your spouse can wrongfully accuse you? Okay, people can falsely accuse you. There was actually one part I want to. There was one part how to actually protect yourself. I think it was actually right here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. If you feel that your partner's behavior could land you in jail in the future, here are some actions you could limit the chances of sabotaging you. Some of these things could include confide with close friends and relatives. Even friends and relatives can turn against you. No, this is not it. Oh, this is how to protect yourself, actually. Yeah, we'll go into this. We'll go into this briefly because I feel you guys need to know this. Okay, so if your partner is erratic and has been making threats to go to the police to create trouble for you, tell your friends and family early enough. They might not interfere in any way, but at least you know that you don't lose trust in you if your friend ever accuses you. So basically, be open about the situation. Now, fellas, you're going to have to put your pride aside, and you're going to have to kind of admit things that, you know what? There's so-and-so going on in my relationship. This is what's going on. So keep them in the loop so that just in case, if she comes out and says a bunch of nonsense, you know, they already have a heads up. That's what it's saying here. So keep your login information private. Now, this is talking about social media and whatnot. So you never know to the extent if someone will go to irrational behavior in order to frame you. The accuser could, for instance, access your cell phone or computer to send messages to her phone and later file accusations against you saying you sent threatening messages. Now, there's actually been incidents this actually happen. So gather evidence. So this is basically, this is basically this kind of covering your ass here. Now this is if you're going to, I'm going to actually link this. I'm going to link this article, in the description box so that way you guys can refer to it. Cause I don't want this video to go too long. Obviously I want to give you the most information possible, but, there's a lot. Trust me. If I was the amount of articles that I had and studies, if I was to read every single one, it's quite sad and quite disgusting at the same time. If I was to read every single one, this would be probably like a 24-hour video. There was so much information. So we're going to go through a few cases here where some false alligators were in the wild and tried to pull that ish, but some of them got diffused. Okay, so you got this one here. This actually took place in the UK. Shout out to was this in the UK? Northcliffe. I think this was in the UK, yes. Yes, this was in the UK because this actually was on the police website, ironically. Essex Police, shout out to them. A woman who made a series of false grape claims has been jailed. Good for her. Jail her ass. That's what really should happen. People who make false allegations should be fined and or jailed for their nonsense because it ruins people's lives. And of course, that's what their intention is to ruin the lives of the other person. But they don't realize it's irreversible. Or probably they do it. They just don't give they don't give an ish. Okay, so it has been jailed following some work from our specialist detectives. Kathy Richardson made a series of allegations against two men between January and May of last year. So, of course, you know where she's been.
She belongs to the street.
Yep, she's been in them streets. Yep, she's been there. Oh, she's been there. These allegations led officers to carry out 60 investigations. 60? Oh, good Lord. As a part of these investigations, one of the men she accused was arrested and made subject to a forensic examination. However, the officers progressed their inquiries into Richardson's claims, and they found that CCTV, phone data, and information from an automatic number plate recognition, apparently they're pretty sophisticated over there, showed the alleged attacker was not even in the area at the time Richardson alleged the assault had taken place. One of the men even agreed to a GPS tracking tag fitted to his ankle, which would send an alarm to police if it was destroyed or taken off. Wow. On a number of occasions, data from the tag was analyzed and showed he was not in the area when Richardson said the attack had taken place. Richardson, 35, of North Road, Westcliff, was arrested on the 28th of May last year and later charged with preventing the course of justice. She admitted 10 counts at Susbury Court on the 23rd of this year. Wow. At the same court today, she was sentenced to 5 years and 1 month in prison. Good. Lock her ass up. Lock her ass up. Lock her up. Okay, so is there anything interesting here? No, this is some police stuff. So there was another case here. Now, a woman, look at her. Good Lord. How old is this woman? Seriously. You're supposed to be taking care of your grandbabies. And taking care of your husband, grandpappy. And you're out in them streets doing this nonsense? Woman lied that her husband raped her because... Oh, good Lord. What? Woman lied that her husband raped her because he refused to help her around the house. Oh, boy. A cheating wife. What? She was cheating too? A cheating wife who made false rape claims against her husband after he refused to do household chores has been spared jail. Should have locked her ass up. Maybe because of her age. Sharon Taylor, 61, vowed to destroy her husband, destroy in quotations, David, following the collapse of their 21-year marriage. He moved out into a semi-detached home, in Melbourne, Worcestershire. This is in the UK again, last year, after she admitted of having an affair. So she was in them streets. She was in them streets. Yep, she was in them streets. Yep. She moved us. The court heard Taylor, and Taylor then bombarded her with a estranged husband with a bruised nonstop messages demanding he continued to carry out chores. Seriously, just because he won't clean? What? Between March and April of this year, she sent 216 messages, including one branding him as a robotic Nazi. What the hell? Look at her. I'm not trying to be mean, okay? But who the heck would cheat with this? Who? Man, you nasty boys are out there. Hey, nasty boys, stand up. Claim your woman here. Taylor then went to the post office where he worked and lied to his boss, claiming he raped her over a number of years. She continued to hound her husband and threatened to report him to police for rape unless he quit his job. Judge Martin Jackson said false allegations of rape is extremely unsettling, which is very true. Ladies, you should be upset with this. Threatening to make an allegation that is untrue is a serious matter. The judge said that this was a sad case and recognized the offering had been committed. The offending had been committed when Taylor was in emotional turmoil. What? Really? You're going to go claim that? Okay, anyway. Taylor, a former independent who was elected... Wait, hold on a second. Wait, she was an elected official? Hold on a second. Am I reading this right? A former independent who was elected to Melbourne Town Council began her vile campaign against her husband last year. So, yeah. You should know better, ma'am. Michael A., I can't pronounce that name, prosecutor said She told her husband, David, she had an affair which caused their 21-year marriage to collapse. Okay. Is there anything else here? She falsely claimed that Mr. Taylor raped her for many years. After the manager told her to report, she replied, okay, anyway. How much more is there? Oh, let's see what she was actually nailed for. She was found guilty of stalking, blackmail, appearing court, Taylor. Okay, so apparently, so she was sentenced to a total of 2 years and 3 months, suspended for 2 years. She also ordered a complete 30-day rehabilitation and slapped with a restraining order banning her from contacting her husband. Good. I would have nailed her for more time, but I guess because of her age, they probably gave her some sort of lenience, but that's disgusting. Seriously? Seriously? You're supposed to be minding them grandbabies. Y'all in them streets. Now here's another one. Is this the same article? Oh yeah, this is the same article. Sorry. Let me see if there's anything different here. I thought this... Yeah, this is the same one. There's another picture of her there. Huh, good Lord. Oh, they had 2 kids together too. Wow. Is there anything else different here? The couple are now going... Oh, apparently they're going through divorce proceedings. Okay, anyway, yeah. Interesting. So, is there anything we need to go here? Conduct. Okay, so yeah, this is actually what I want to go. I thought this was in the other part, but okay. So we should go through this very briefly. So, how to protect yourself. Oh, wait, was this the same thing I just had here? Okay, you know what? I did have this up here, but I scrolled a little bit further down. Okay, so what to do once you're falsely alligated. So get attorney representation. Of course, that's the first thing. And do not breach any restraining order that's against you. So follow whatever the court papers say. Even though they'll try to set you up, they'll try to text you, they'll try to get friends to come after you and give you little messages and whatnot. Just avoid at all costs. And show that you're a good parent. So if you're not having any... So if you're not restrained from seeing your kids, make sure you're there for them. Just be careful. Okay, so there we go. Stick to your defense. So stick to your guns. Whatever story that you do have, make sure that story is the story. Don't try to embellish anything to make them look bad. Just stick to the truth because the courts can see through that. So stay focused. Stay focused in regards to not having any outbursts when you are in court. Because, of course, they're going to try to get you pissed off to make you look bad and irrational and whatnot. So just stay focused. And remember who is in the wrong, of course. So they're in the wrong because they made the false allegations. And just pretty much stick to your guns. Fellas, you know what? Honestly, you have to really protect yourselves out there because, honestly, we're in a different world now. We are definitely in clown world. Definitely in clown world. Okay, why am I... There we go. Why does my character look like he was sleeping there just now? Wake up, buddy. Wake up. Anyway, yeah, fellas, you have to be very careful out there because you know what? A lot of factors come into play when this sort of situations happens. You have pride. Fellas, you got to put away your pride. You have to put away your pride and just admit, you know what, something's going on. I need help. Because a lot of us don't want to ask for help because of pride. Make sure you ask for help when needed. And if all else fails, listen, just walk away. There's no shame in walking away from a situation. There's more shame in deleting yourself because they never hear your side of the story. They never hear your side. They just see a post on Facebook. Luckily, the daughter was able to come out and testify to her father's defense. So at least there's some sort of closure and there's some sort of unanswered questions finally being answered. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And of course, shout out to RedpillCanuck.com, our daily pill, where we get all our news articles and whatnot. And of course, not to mention home of our new series, DRPC, where you, the viewer, write in for professional advice. And of course, not by professionals. For entertainment purposes only. And shout out to everybody on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening. Hit the follow button on the way out. And if you're here on YouTube, hit the like button on the way out and subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there, fellas. Later. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. And to check out our more recent uploads, check here on the top left. And to check out our playlist, check here on the top right. And make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And also check out our Quick Hits channel, which is also located down below for our more bite-sizable content. I'll see you guys in the next one.